Thank you so much for clicking on to this video.
So we believe that if you ever do have the chance, that you should definitely visit Vars in the French Alps. And in today's video, we are going to be showing you exactly why.
We are Sarah and Marek. For the past few years, we've been saving up to go traveling, and we finally set off to travel full time. Currently, we are lucky enough to be in the French Alps, staying in a little mountain village called Sainte Marie. We've been here for the past 2 months and have loved every moment. We were even fortunate enough to spend our first white Christmas here together. Subscribe and come along for our budget adventures.
So we're on our way to show you around our first village for the day. But first, we wanted to give you an overview of the region and tell you about all the amazing activities that there are to do here.
Vars is a region in the French Alps made up of 4 small mountain villages: Sainte Marcellin, Sainte Marie, Sainte Cathrine and Les Claux. On top of being a beautiful winter wonderland, Vars has so many activities on offer. We're talking snowmobiling, dog sledding, ice sculpture caves, and the obvious skiing, snowboarding, sledding, and many more. We've also found it so interesting to learn about the history of this place, and we'll be sharing a bit of that history as well as some interesting facts about these small mountain villages. So it's quite fitting. The first village we'll be showing you guys today is called Sainte Marcellin. I hope I'm saying that correctly, but this is the first and oldest village in the Vars region, and it was actually the capital until 1962, when the capital was transferred to the village where we are staying called Sainte Marie. So an interesting fact about this church behind me here, the church of the Sainte Marcellin town, is that it was actually used previously to help those in need, in that there was a cabinet area or like a storage area where they would keep food stocked up and ready for anyone that was in desperate need to come and get food. Guys, isn't this just the cutest little post box you have ever seen? It's even got a baguette on it.
So Sainte Marcellin has 4 water fountains, just like the ones you can see behind me here. So up until 1942, when running water was introduced to all of the different homes, this used to be the main water supply for the village. People would come here, and this would be a very communal affair. People would come here to collect water, do their laundry, and even catch up on the latest village gossip. So all over this village you'll find these beautiful wooden sculptures everywhere, and this is what sets Sainte Marcellin apart from all of the other villages in this region. These sculptures are actually created by a man named Julian David, and he is a bit of a tree lover. So this is his way of giving a second life to the trees that he loves so much.
So now we are on to our second village. This is Sainte Marie. This is where we've been staying for the past 2 months and we've absolutely fallen in love with it. So although Sainte Marcellin was the first village in Vars and was the capital for a very long time, Sainte Marie sort of took over in becoming a hub when skiing was introduced in this area or in this region. And Sainte Marie has played a really big role in the formation of skiing tourism in this area, and it's a big reason why tourists flock here every year.
So fun fact, the first ever ski school cabin was built right here by the instructors themselves. So in 1959 there were only 2 ski instructors in the region, and the very next year this number skyrocketed and jumped to 10 instructors. So this shows you just how rapid the expansion of this region was.
So another interesting fact is that in the year of 1946, a resident of Sainte Marie decided to buy himself a pair of ash skis. And then he decided to rent them out. And that is how the very first sports ski shop started in Sainte Marie.
So you're standing right outside the fire brigade and you think to yourself, during these winter seasons, in these sub-zero temperatures, they must not have much work to do. But that's where you're wrong. Most of their call-outs are actually from people who've been skiing around and playing around in the mountains and have fallen and hurt themselves. And also, quite a few of them are just from people who've literally slipped on ice outside their house and need a little bit of help to get up.
So this ski lift that I'm sitting on right now was the very first ski lift to be installed in 1938 in the Vars region, plus or minus some upgrades since then. Fun fact, before there was machinery to groom the pistes, the ski instructors used to groom the pistes using a 200-litre drum filled with sand that they would roll down the slopes. So we just took a beautiful scenic stroll up to the next village, which is Sainte Cathrine, also referred to as La Fortune. And that is because previously this village was used as the granary for the Vars region, which basically means that all the grain and crops used to be stored in this village. And although it's the smallest out of all the villages, it has, in our opinion, the best views out of all the villages. You can see all the other villages from this vantage point, as well as the beautiful mountains and landscapes in the surrounding areas.
So I've just stumbled upon a pretty rich patch of history. So we're standing right outside the community oven. So back in the day, we're talking many years ago, the main concern of the men was to provide bread for their families. So this is how the community oven was created. So back then, this oven was in such high demand that people literally had to make reservations to be able to use this oven each day. And as soon as the world started progressing and moving forward, the locals really didn't want to lose this tradition. So what they have done since then is that every year, twice a year, they all have a huge community gathering, and the locals all then bake bread and eat bread in the traditional way that they used to do it all those years ago. So number 2, if you look just up over there, you have what is called a sundial. Now what is pretty cool about Sainte Cathrine with its location is that it is placed in the south. So that means that it has sun all day compared to the rest of the villages that are down in the valley that only have sun for parts of the day. What's cool about these sundials is that they predate the invention of clocks, so this is how the locals used to tell the time. And another interesting fact about these sundials is that they have what they call French proverbs. So each one has a unique saying to it. A saying such as, "The man who owns the home shall tell the time," and "If you give me sun, I'll tell the time." So that's pretty cool. So number 3. So as you can see me, this building behind us right here has been built using stones, and it's limestone as far as we know. So back in the day, there used to be a major shortage of timber in the Vars Valley. So that used to have to force the builders to make use of these stones to build the houses right up until the roof level, and then they used to make use of the little bit of timber available to them to then finish off the roof.
So in the past, missionaries actually came on pilgrimages to the Vars region to spread the gospel. And the locals here were so inspired by what they heard that they actually built these very symbolic crosses, and there are 2 of them in Sainte Cathrine.
So what's pretty cool about this region is that all of the villages are within walking distance of each other. So they actually all fall within 5 kilometers of each other, which is really cool. So instead of walking to our last village, we're actually going to be catching a free bus shuttle that runs and connects all the different villages to each other. But we'll tell you more about that once we get there. So if you watched last week's ski video, you will recognize this bus stop from that video. So we are back in Sainte Marie again, just purely because this is where we're staying and we came to grab some quick lunch. But if you've never used this bus before, let's give you a quick demonstration on how to use this free bus service.
Alright, so putting 15 seconds on the clock, starting now. The bus operates on a circular route and runs from left to right, as you can see from the roster. You can find the bus stops along the main roads in each village. Because it runs on a circular route, the bus will always come back to the village that it picked you up from. So no need to worry about getting lost. And time.
So once you've figured out what time you want to take the bus, the next steps are pretty much to just wait at the bus stop and then hop on the bus and not pay a thing because it's free. Ah, here comes the bus now. Bonjour. Bonjour. So we've just arrived at the 4th and final village in the Vars region, Les Claux. Les Claux is the biggest out of all the villages, and you know how earlier I was saying first Sainte Marcellin was the hub of Vars and then it was Sainte Marie? Well, now it's Les Claux, and Les Claux is pretty much the center for all of the tourism in Vars, and you can find most of the activities that we mentioned earlier in this video in Les Claux. Fun fact, we also do our grocery shopping here about once a week.
So apologies about the sunglasses. Although it is overcast, it is so unbelievably bright that it literally hurts your brain just being outside without sunglasses on. Okay, but back to the point. So the Chabrier slope in Les Claux has established itself as being the fastest speed skiing slope in the world with an average gradient of 98%, which is basically vertical. That is just ludicrous. So speed skiers from around the world flock here every year to try and break the speed skiing world record set by Ivan Oregon, not too sure how to pronounce it, set by him in 2016 with a speed of 254.958 kilometers. I mean, that is just ridiculous. When we get up to 35 k's an hour, we're already like, whoa, 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 like we're going way too fast.
Thank you so much for joining in on our tour of the Vars region. We feel so happy to finally have shared a bit more about the place that we're staying in, and we really enjoyed diving deeper into the history of this place and finding out what it's all about. Something special that we've noticed since being here is the really nice community atmosphere that there is. All the locals know each other and have nice chats to each other in the streets. And you can tell that the locals here really know that they've got something special and they enjoy living here.
So something that makes us so incredibly happy is to see how the locals just make the most of this incredibly beautiful region that they're in. Even though the ski lifts are closed, you'll still have locals walking up and down the slopes all day long, whether they're going for a ski or literally just going out for a walk in the mountains. You can see how happy it makes them just being outdoors and spending time in nature.
So thank you again for watching our video. If you enjoyed it and got some value out of it, don't forget to smash that like button and let us know in the comments if you would ever want to come and visit this incredibly beautiful region. And subscribe so that you can join us in finding more hidden gems in future videos to come. See you back this coming Tuesday.